Welcome back to the Real Tea with Sheena G. If you feel like you're failing even when you're winning, this episode is for you. If the deals are moving, if your calendar is technically fine, if no one would say you're struggling, but you feel heavy anyway, this conversation is for you. Before we go any further, let's slow your body down. If you're walking, ease your pace just a little. Take one slow breath in through your nose. Hold it and exhale longer than you inhaled. Again, inhale, pause, exhale slowly. Let your nervous system catch up to your schedule. Okay, so now we can talk. There's a kind of tired that makes sense. Back to back showings, listing prep, inspection negotiations. That tired is honest. It has a cause. But there's another kind, the tired that shows up on a week that went fine. No disasters, no deals collapsed, no major fires. And still, you feel like you carried something. Because guess what? You did. And the frustrating part is, it's hard to explain. Nothing was wrong, but something was heavy. It's 8:42 p.m. A buyer text. I'm just so nervous. What if this was a mistake? You don't wait. You respond immediately. You calm them down. You explain the numbers again. Or better yet, it's a seller who's calling after a showing. They didn't even make an offer. Are we priced wrong? You absorb the frustration. You regulate the tone. You take on the emotional temperature of the moment. Or you're in a multiple offer situation. Everyone's adrenaline is high. You are the calm one. You lower your voice. You steady the room. You hold the tension. That's not just skill, that's emotional labor. And most agents never name it because it looks like competence, it looks like leadership. Caring says, I'm present with this. Caring says, I'm responsible for how this feels for everyone. Caring flows in and out. Caring settles. It lingers in your chest. It tightens your jaw. It shows up in the shower. It follows you home. And because you are empathetic, because you are capable, because you are trusted, it feels like leadership. But it isn't. Leadership is not absorbing everything. Here's what starts to happen quietly. You respond faster than you need to. You explain more than you need to. You soothe before anyone has even fully escalated. You overfunction, not because you're weak, because you feel responsible. And over time, your nervous system becomes your infrastructure. Let that land for a moment. Your nervous system becomes your infrastructure. Instead of process, instead of documentation, instead of containment, you become the holding place. And here's the part no one talks about. When you use your nervous system as your infrastructure at work, you have nothing left for your nervous system at home. You're patient for the 8:42 p.m. client text, but short fused at the dinner table. You're calm in the negotiation, but overstimulated with your children. You're steady for strangers, but depleted with people you love. That's the cost of carrying, and it accumulates slowly. Leadership is not about absorbing everything. Leadership builds containers. Instead of a 20-minute phone call explaining the same inspection hurdle for the fifth time, try a pre recorded 2-minute what happens during inspections video sent the moment the contract is signed. Instead of answering every anxious text immediately, Try a written communication policy that sets expectations from day one. Instead of reassuring the same fear over and over, try what happens if guide that anticipates common emotional spikes. Containment doesn't remove care, it protects it. So clients lean on structure instead of leaning on your nervous system. And that shift changes everything. We're nearing the end of this season. Next week is our final episode of season one. And if you noticed, this entire season has been about recognition, recognizing overfunctioning, recognizing pace, recognizing emotional labor, and recognizing identity beneath output. We had to see it before we tried to solve it because you cannot build healthy structure on top of unexamined patterns. You cannot automate what you haven't acknowledged. Something we're going to begin moving forward is this question: what would it look like if your business could actually hold you? Not just your volume, not just your goals, but you, your capacity, your nervous system, your family, the woman you're becoming. We're not rushing there, but we are moving there. Recognition first, then construction. If today's episode felt uncomfortably accurate, inside the after tea, which is our reflection space inside the Leverage Lounge community, we take this one step further. We don't just name the carrying, we identify where it's happening. And we begin by asking, what needs a container here? No urgency, no performance, just thoughtful leadership. The link is in the show notes whenever you're ready. Let's close this gently. God, you see the unseen labor she carries, the steadiness, the emotional regulation, the late night reassurance. Show her what was never hers to hold. Give her clarity to build structure where there's strain. Give her courage to create boundaries without guilt. Restore her nervous system and remind her that leadership does not require depletion. Amen. Until next week, you are never meant to carry everything. Leadership isn't about holding more, it's about knowing what to build so your body doesn't have to.